Hello again. My name is Shelby, and I will be doing my self-branding pitch during this video. I'm just gonna go jump right off the bat, jump into one of our first points, which is basically strategy. So honestly, my taste as an artist has been more towards going towards more like abstract, indie, independent films. But I've been going towards more like a lot of experimental projects and documentary making. Just a couple examples of some things that I really like that I've been taking a lot of inspiration from over the last while are, the Florida Project, Moonlight, stories like American Honey, and one documentary in particular that's really inspired me recently that I saw is it's called I Am Another You. If you haven't seen it, it is on Amazon Prime, and I definitely 110 recommend it. Um, but it basically that has really it was really successful. It got great ratings, and just the style and the essence of that has really inspired me to take a real new look at what kind of artist I want to be. So I've actually been really looking into a lot of documentary making. There's two main projects I want to do. One is a film. The other one is more of like a series type of based. The film is basically a backpacking trip where I try to capture the human experience and an adventure and what it means to just be free in the world. And I've been doing a lot of planning recently with that. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to go into effect, but that is one of the major projects I want to do that I've been doing a lot of planning for. Another one the series that I've actually been really looking into making right now is actually with music festivals. I've noticed a lot, like just looking up videos and trying to find like information on some festivals, because they have them all over the country and all over the world. And there's about 90,000 to 120,000 people. Burning Man is one of the biggest festivals in the U.S. And a lot of people do make a lot of short films about Burning Man. Me particularly, I want to travel across the country and go to pretty much do a like maybe like a web series on YouTube or something where I basically capture the essence of what it is to be like in the world of each festival. Last year I went to five. I've made crazy connections like all over. I've also been looking into getting into the EDM community. I'm pretty well versed in Chicago. I basically want to been have setting up things where I could do videography for end clubs, where I like basically go to the shows, capture like the experience of what it's like to be at that artist show, and then you can go freelance with that. I have a couple people that are willing to let me shadow them that are already freelancers in Chicago that make trailers and stuff, or like little previews for artist social media. And I also have a friend who actually does run a production company, and I just recently, well, he's a friend of a friend, but I recently just talked to him about getting into that. Um, Bear with me, I talk a lot. So skipping into the next one, it's a freshness. Recently it's been a little bit of a standstill with what I've been trying to get into since I've stepped away from screenwriting. But I've been doing a lot of planning. I've been creating Bibles, outlines, looking at equipment, watching a lot of independent documentaries on YouTube that have followings as well as other professional documentaries and taking notes. I do have a large platform on social media. And I am a Pollen ambassador, which basically means is I sell other people tickets to that festival. If I sell a certain amount or to shows, I get my entry for free. So I've been pretty much like dealing with that. So even though it's been kind of a standstill with all that, I still have been trying to keep up as much as I can. And then going into reputation management, I really, my time here at DePaul has been really great because I've been able to make a lot of great connections with professors. Um, it's been a little hard to like talk to students, mostly because, I'm a commuter, but connection wise, I'm very active in my local scene here. I've done a lot of photography for my friends who are in local bands here, help set up shows. I'm very well known around here. I've also been getting more into the Chicago scene, or at least I was, before our lovely COVID. But I also have as I said, I went to a bunch of festivals all over the country. I drove all over last year, and I still have hundreds of people that I've met because I like to make impressions, whether it's I've only met you for lasting impressions, whether I've met you for like a moment or, I've met you multiple times or every now and then, like, I've been told I'm a very memorable soul and I really do appreciate that. But I also like to, see where I can make connections. I've talked to, at one festival I went to in Iowa, I ended up talking to the wife of the video graphic designer director for Hippie Sabotage's visuals, who travels across the country with him, and I actually got his contact information. So I've been meaning to actually contact him to see if I could possibly learn anything from them or get on any work. But I'm constantly like stepping out of my comfort zone and talking to everybody because I mean, what are people there for? Talk to them, You never know who you're going to meet. I've even had people sit in my sections that know people in the film industry that have been trying to, vouch out for me and stuff. And I've just been their server. But going on to the next one, because I know I'm going to start running out of time. Here we go. Vision. So, let's see. My brand, I would like to say that, I've been making myself very prominent in the industry the EDM industry, which is what I've been kind of going more towards. Um, I've also been looking into producing my own music in there too. But, like, I've actually, where I see, like, my projects going into the next 1 year, 5 years, I really do see myself working a lot in documentary making, and I think that taking these small steps to get more correlated with the EDM scene here, talking to people, networking, and um, you know, following people, shadowing people, learning technical skills with cameras that I didn't really learn at DePaul because I was more on the screenwriting track has really will be beneficial, and I think it'll help me when I want to go onto my own zone and create my own big projects like the one I want to do in Europe, which I pretty much planned out, and I think it is really going to be a good one. But I know that I'm definitely, now that I'm towards the end of my career here at DePaul, I've been working very, very hard and taking a lot of time during quarantine, as much as it's been rough, to try and see where I want my future to go. And then let's see, analysis. Competing with yours. There really isn't a lot of stuff on EDM festivals that I've noticed, so I really haven't seen a lot on there. I've seen some people that do like, where they film sets and then record them and put them up there. But what I want to do is I actually want to interview people. Like I want to interview people that have gone to the festival for 10 years in a row, people that are new to the scene, people that it's their first time there. I want to interview artists. Like I want to make it a very comprehensive, like I want someone to watch this and feel like they have a small experience of them being there. And I think that's something that I haven't actually really seen at all from this huge community that exists that's been very untapped with, the beauty of what it is to capture cinematic experiences. Um, no, let's see, my voice. I'd say, my voice, I would say my consistent message is basically just capturing what it means to exist. I don't want to say the human condition because I know that's cliche, but there's a lot of different genres that people write, and I started off with horror, and then I went into other things, and then I thought I wanted to be strictly television writer, and then for a while I thought I wanted to be in film, and I just kind of realized that I fell in love with all not the genres, but the stories of the characters, and everybody has a beautiful story, and I think that it's interesting. I think everyone deserves to have their story told, and I want to do it in a way that captures things for people to watch something and say, hey, I relate to that. That's something that I went through. This is capturing an experience that I have maybe experienced myself, and I want to be inspirational with it because there's just so much stuff out there, and I would hate to be pigeonholed, but I know it happens. And let's see, trust. I mean, I feel like you're not really if you don't trust and believe in yourself and be true to yourself, it's never gonna be, you're never gonna create anything great if you don't do that. Image. Oh yeah, I mean, like I always have dressed professionally. I always take a look at everything, like I've always made sure that I had a um, good presence whenever I've talked to anybody, especially when I've been talking to people who are more higher up in like the scene that I've been looking into, and people who are actually traveling the country and the world, going to shows and capturing, stuff with their cameras and doing all that. I've definitely, when I've talked to them, I've always tried to hold a professional aura and not seem like some dumb kid. But, and I always like to make them laugh, because professional is great, but people love to laugh. And once you make someone laugh, you give them a little bit, more comfortable. How far am I currently reaching with my brand? Let's see. I've been pretty reaching. As I said, like I want to reach pretty much like the whole EDM community, which is actually very, very, very large. Um, it's growing even more every day, especially during quarantine when with a lot of artists have been releasing a bunch of DJ sets and stuff. EDM Chicago is one of a huge group on Facebook that has a following, and I am very stationed in that group. I know local like actual DJ places where people DJ or do like I know Base Station is one of them. I've been there. Um, I know a couple people that run a couple of the venues up here. Um, I basically like I want to. I've been using my Snapchat has been kind of a way that I use to expand things because I always add people on Snapchat and I have my own private Snapchat that I have for myself and then I have my public Snapchat that I use to basically like do street team for certain venues and like advertise for different shows and sets and stuff. And I know, like, I pretty much have kept everyone up to date. I really haven't lost people. I still talk to someone I met one in the last 10 minutes of a show like a year ago. And we're actually planning on meeting up at the next festival that happens, if it ever happens again. But, she's even offered to help me capture any experiences or interview with me. And then positioning. Um, I mean, yeah, I think that it depends on how you execute it. Like I've noticed a lot of different styles of documentary. Like it is like a very I guess that you could say it is a simple way to capture things, but I guess if you go the right way, there is actually a lot of very different styles that I've seen and a lot of different ones that I've been watching, and I think that I just really depends on how you do it and how much practice you get, but I definitely am looking to thinking of new ways every day how to get a good twist on things. And then creativity. Yeah. Yeah, I try to be human and I try to use my creativity every day in certain ways and I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to writing. But at this point in time, I don't really see myself being a screenwriter at the moment, but I know that I want to use my creativity in the way that I want to capture what I want to capture. So yeah, I know I've dragged completely on. I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna end it here, but thank you for bearing with me. And yeah, that was my self-branch.